How to be successful with network marketing. I love this conversation because I love direct sales, network marketing, however you want to label it. There are so many people, and especially in the US, I'd say North America, that have just say, oh my gosh, because they still think it's the Amway days, and you're up with soap in your, basement or whatever in your garage. None of that's true. And most countries actually treat it as serious business. They actually do brick and mortar. You can walk in. People literally lease office spaces where you can come in for meetings and treat it like a real business. And they're making a ton of money. So how do you be successful? Let's talk about three things. Just the importance of the commitment to what I'm going to call a revenue producing day. Number two, how do you improve your skill and focus? And then really, how do you protect the database that you're going to be building? That's a huge one, and most people miss on that. And then number three, how you ramp up that database, how you create more engagement, and then create more sales. So let's begin at the beginning. So the importance of staying committed and building a revenue producing day. So for most people, usually they're an employee that wants extra revenue, a side hustle, a lot of people are calling it. So they start a direct sales company, right? Because whether they like the lotion or potion or whatever the thing is that they're doing, they like the service, right? Legal Shield, they like identity protection, or with send out cards, you like the gifts and the card process. So you join because you either like it or you want to make extra money or some combination of that. So what we see on a consistent basis is the lack of commitment, the lack of time committed to it, and you're really being more of an emotional entrepreneur. So unless you give a business time, and I always like this phrase because it's pretty common sense, how many hours are you going to be open for business? Are you going to do this 1 hour a day and hope you're amazingly going to be like a 6 and 7 figure earner? Or are you going to actually commit it to being a business? And I can tell you, those who commit it to being a business make it a successful business. Otherwise, it just stays a little side hustle with a couple $1,000s trickling in here and there. We have some of the biggest direct sales earners in the country, in the world actually, in our Big Table database. And they are making 6 figures a month. We've got people in one nutraceutical company, they're making 7 figures. I mean, you can kill it if your effort and your marketing is great. But time, commitment, and a revenue producing day, which means what produces the money. And if I was going to give you a revenue producing day for direct sales, I'd say you either get up in the morning or you do it at night and you do some social posts about your product and why, the awareness and what it does for you and what you love about it and all the things you say on social media. Then during lunch or in the morning, you actually create some engagement. And then ideally, I'd rather have you see your night or lunch times being spent saying, go from engagement, say you want to pick up the phone, let's have a conversation about what I'm doing if you want to join my team. And then you get on the phone. See, a lot of you think this is just going to be passive and you can just put up this little post of, directsalescompany.com/your name and think you're going to send them to the back office. Nothing happens. And in fact, if the person doesn't actually say that you're the lead or use your link, you lose the lead. So let's go to number 2, which is how do you really get this set right? I want you to go to askrms.com. It's called askrapidmarketingsystems.com and learn how we could do it for you for $297. So that's not a big pitch, but you got to understand the marketing, like the flow of the traffic. If you're doing a social post, the last thing you need is just a bunch of followers. You need those followers to get into your database, which means they need to click somewhere and get into a proper database where then you can control the narrative, you control the message, you can control, whether you want to have a weekly call. If you just went out to social media and said, I'm going to do a weekly call on, your XYZ direct sales company, do you think people are just going to randomly come? You can't send text message reminders, you can't send email reminders, you can't send voice text reminders, you can't do any of that stuff. You're just hoping your social posts are going to get you success. I've never seen anybody without a database be amazingly successful. I'm talking a consistent 6 or 7 figures, whether that's a month or a year. So you got to get a database structure. And more importantly, you have to be the front-facing expert. You're the wellness expert. You're the anti-aging expert. You're the identity protection expert. You're the expert. So they're coming to you because you're going to have all the traffic. You're going to keep everybody in your database. And let's just say, since 82% of direct sales companies do fail after so many years, say that you are a wellness expert and that wellness company happens to go bankrupt or it gets bought or whatever, it goes away. You then can just pick up another product line. You're still the wellness expert. You just offer them a different product. So a lot of you're building this wrong because all you're doing is building the direct sales company and putting people into a back office database with no support and no help. You still in their back office can't text or email from their back office. So then you're still handicapped from communicating your narrative and your message. So successful business starts with successful structure, which is how are you controlling your marketing, your database? Then how are you pulling them onto a phone call to sell? I want to give you 2 tickets to my Millionaire Intensive where we have a marketplace so you can come practice your sales pitch, come sell your stuff to our audience. There's hundreds of people on it. We have one coming up in the next few weeks. Over 600 people are registered. So come join us and learn to sell. You can say, well, I don't want to sell. I just want it to passively happen. You might as well just keep a job and stay broke because it's not going to work that way. You actually have to commit to a revenue producing day, but you've got to have the systems behind you and beside you that are going to actually push the lead to you. So if you want to know more, always go to askloral.com to ask a question, make a request, and we have teams that will call you and help you out at any time. So before I go to the last and critical step, I want you to subscribe to our channel, be here 5 days a week, click that notification button. And when the video comes in, I want you to watch it. Like, what are you learning about it? What can you do about it today? And have your family watch it. So share it with at least 5 to 10 other people, please. And we look forward to hearing from you. And if you want to join any of the companies I'm in several of them. I'm going to put the links below. One is a gifting card company. One is a home wellness company. And the other is a facial line, which keeps no wrinkles on my face, or very few for how young I am. So the last one is how do you really create and move to a sale? Again, I teach this process called Ask, Tell, Ask. So when you're in our marketplace, which is part of that Millionaire Intensive, which you just got 2 free tickets to, and you're going to learn an Ask, Tell, Ask process. So Ask, Tell, Ask is I'm going to ask you, where are your problems? Like, what do you need? And then I'm going to tell you why I'm your solution or my product or service is your solution. And I'm going to ask you for money. It's a very quick, low ticket, high volume offer. So you want to get hundreds of people paying you $10, $15, $20. Now, if you're in a direct sales company, here's a big key that it's $100 a month, which is average, right? For how those models work. Sometimes it's $89 a month. Sometimes it's $129 a month. So call it an average of $100 a month. No one's just going to go buy and commit to paying $100 a month until they've at least attempted to try the product. So when you come to the marketplace, take some samples, take some like little baggies and put some samples in and charge $10 or $15 for small samples. Don't give them away for free. That's not what you're going to be doing anymore. So I know they're telling you in their direct sales company, how successful people did it in the 80s. We're 2023. We are 40 something years later. It's time for you to grow up, be a business owner with the right teams, the right systems. And I'd love for you to be on our team. I love direct sales. I love getting paid every day in one of the models. I get paid every week in the second model. And the other one, I get paid once a month. So I love the extra money. And it's what I'm already buying and using, so why not get paid back? So again, if you have any questions, go to askloral.com, ASKLORAL. Ask a question, make a request, and we'll be back tomorrow.